Today we're going to try to make a little bannock. Bannock is pretty simple. There's all kinds of little different recipes that people use. They're all variations of this same thing I'm going to do here. I use basically just flour, salt, a little baking powder, and I always keep a little container of olive oil around. My basic kit here is just a non-stick saute pan with the handle removed. I'll use this gizmo instead. Seems to be a little bit more flexible. You don't need no handle sticking around in the pack getting in the way if you don't need them. A few pine needles, things like that aren't going to hurt anything. Make it a little more tasty. And we'll just a couple spoons of this is just regular all-purpose flour, nothing special. Get that out of the way. And we'll put in a little salt. I usually use exactly that much. Add a little bit of water here. I usually mix in the water, flour, and salt together before I add the baking powder. It's baking powder. Basically, you don't want to mix it too much. When you get the consistency just right, a little smeary, a little doughy, looks like it's got about the right amount of water and flour, then I'll put in a little baking powder. And about that much is perfect. That out of the way. Now I'll mix it up kind of quick and vigorous just to get everything together. And we'll just set that off to the side for a minute. This is my basic cook kit, which includes a lid, includes a little 2-cup size pot, and then I believe it's a 1 1/4 quart pot. I keep a little extra lighter in there in case the igniter on the stove doesn't work. And I have my little Primus, I think it's a Yellowstone Techno Trail butane burner stove. This is one of the handiest, lightest, compact, trouble-free stoves I've ever used. The problem is, you gotta buy these butane containers, and sometimes they're not always available, and sometimes they're not always cheap. But they do fit quite nicely in this little pot. I use a little handkerchief in there, which I can use for wiping things off, and it helps to pull it out. I'm not going to need the pot right now, so we'll just get that out of the way. Also, besides the stove here, it looks like I have it set pretty level. I have this little piece of aluminum flashing. I got some little holes drilled at different places. That's what I'm using as my windbreak for the stove. If you look closely at the stove here, I've added some little stainless steel wing nuts and screws and just a little piece of bent wire that I just got bent around. I'm just going to push that out a little. after you use these things a while, you find out they don't have to be real precise. Here, and we'll put it down on the next lower level, and yeah, that'll work. That'll work fine. We'll see if we get a level. Let's say this is one of the easiest trouble-free stoves you can use. Turn on the gas. There we go. Another nice thing about this stove is it will simmer at a very low temperature, which is what we're going to need for baking our bannock. Some people, now I'm going to take a little olive oil, dump that in. I'm going to just dump it right in the same pan. I'm not going to fool around, mix it in a separate pan that I'm just going to have to turn around and clean. I got my oil in there. I'm just going to take the dough, push it out over the oil. Yeah, it's looking all right. And we'll just put that up there on the stove. Level it off a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to tell when the stove is running. Plate. I don't use the plate too often for eating, but I do use it as a cover on the frying pan. And now we'll just let that go for maybe about 10 minutes and come back to it. I normally just time it. I'll use a timer on my iPod here. Set that for 10 minutes and we'll come back. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and we're going to check on it here, see how things are going. It looks like it's coming along pretty nicely. This is kind of... it's been a few more minutes now, and I think we're about ready to flip it over. That's what it's looking like. Take that. Oh yeah, everything looks good now. Turn the stove off. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Well, that's looking pretty good. It's cool enough now that we can break it by hand. And hey, come on. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, hold it. Come over here. Make sure it's not too hot for you. Like that. Yeah. Ha ha ha. There you go. Frying pan, looking pretty good. Not much to clean there. And we can do that real simple. Do these little glass. That's it.